All right, here we are continuing on First New Sunday. It is Mother's Day. I've cooked with you here on the show before, but never with my mom who is here, so welcome, Mom.
Thank you.
You've taught me all the tips and tricks that I know about in the kitchen, so I've invited her here to whip up one of our family's favorite desserts. It's our pistachio dessert, and we're going to build this in layers.
Correct.
How do we begin?
Well, we begin with the crust, which is 2 cups of flour, 2 sticks of melted butter, and some walnuts, 1 cup of walnuts.
And so we melt that butter.
We mix all the ingredients together, and you put it in the pan, flatten it out to make a crust, and into the oven for 20 minutes.
And then after it comes out of the oven, we're going to put it into the refrigerator for another 10 minutes or so to cool a little bit. And then while we're letting it cool, we're constructing the second layer that goes on top of that crust.
That's right. The second layer is with our 2 packages of cream cheese and a cup of sugar. You should blend that, beat it up well with your mix master for at least 10 minutes so it gets nice and creamy. And then you pour it over that crust that you formed to form our second layer.
And then that goes back in the refrigerator.
It does. And if you're a multitasker, in between each of these layers, you can throw in a load of laundry, iron a shirt, or if you're like me, maybe you'd like to read a book.
Mom's good at the multitasking. By the way, where did you get this apron that you're wearing?
Well, people are probably saying, what does she have on? But Nicholas decorated this apron for me when he was a young boy for Mother's Day.
I forgot all about that I had made that until you pulled it out yesterday when you got here. I said, oh my goodness. But I think it was a good occasion to wear it. Now we get into the real gist of this dessert, which is the pistachio filling, and we make that pistachio filling just using pistachio pudding mix. So it's 3 cups of milk that you're going to add to the bowl.
And 2 packages of the pistachio pudding. In we go.
And then we'll whip that up. Now what you need to know with this, you don't have to let the pudding set. So once you get it all well mixed in there, you can just pull it over that, pour it over that layer of the crust and the cream cheese filling that we've already made. Right. And so then after you get that layer, then that goes into the refrigerator for about another half hour or so. So as you can see here, there are a lot of different steps to this recipe. None of the steps are entirely too complicated, but it does just take some time for you to go from one layer to the next. So then after you get that pudding set in the refrigerator on top of those other 2 layers, well then it's the piece de resistance. And that's not the right phrase. Irresistance, what are we saying? The good part of this dessert.
It's the whipped topping, which everyone loves.
So you just pour this, just 1 container, that 8-ounce container of the whipped topping right on top of the pudding. And you can kind of do whatever fancy, schmancy thing you want to do with it. My mom is really good at making it look, you know, giving it a little extra flair. I would just, you know, put it on top, make it nice and neat. But you can do some little tricks, can't you?
A little bit. We'll see if it works today. If you're very creative, you can make swirls and all kinds of things in it. Something that Nicholas has always liked were the little peaks. So I used to just take a little spoon and go around. Naturally, all the Cool Whip is spread out before you do this. But you just use a flick of the wrist to create little peaks in the Cool Whip, and you've got a great dessert.
And there you go, and it's always best served cold. We got the complete recipe on Wayne.com. Click on News and then Local, and you'll find it there. You can have all the ingredients and make an 8x8 version. If it's too much, we'll be back with more news and weather right after this.